Everyone knows Starbucks. It's on every corner. But let me ask you a question. When you walk in there, what are you actually buying? Because if you look at the numbers, Starbucks isn't really a coffee company anymore. It's a bank that sells sugar. Think about it. Why do coffee snobs say their beans taste like burnt charcoal? Why do they hold billions of dollars of your money for free? And why, despite being a global giant, did they fail miserably when they tried to enter Australia? Today, we're gonna look behind the green logo. We're gonna expose the burnt coffee conspiracy, the gift card banking scheme, and the arrogance that cost them an entire continent. Let's get into it. Let's start with the taste. If you ask any serious barista about Starbucks, they will probably tell you it tastes burnt or ashy. They even have a nickname for it, Charbucks. Why would a company worth billions burn their own product? Is it a mistake? No, it's a strategy. See, coffee beans are like wine. They change flavor depending on the weather, the soil, and the harvest. Light roast coffee is delicious, but it's unpredictable. But Starbucks has 35,000 stores. They need a latte in New York to taste exactly the same as a latte in Tokyo. The only way to guarantee that consistency is to roast the beans so dark that you burn away the unique flavors and leave just one taste: strong. They aren't selling quality, they are selling consistency. They are the McDonald's of coffee. They sacrifice the nuance so you always know what you're getting, even if what you're getting is technically burnt.
Okay, the coffee is burnt, but here is the real secret. Starbucks is secretly a bank. Open the Starbucks app on your phone. Do you have money loaded on it? Millions of people do. In fact, Starbucks holds about $1.6 billion in customer funds on these cards and apps. That is more money in deposits than 85% of actual banks in the US. But unlike a real bank, Starbucks doesn't have to pay you interest. They can use that $1.6 billion to open new stores or invest, completely interest-free. It gets better. Every year, people forget about their gift cards or lose them. That is called breakage. In a single year, Starbucks recognized over $180 million in revenue from unused gift cards. That is pure profit for doing absolutely nothing. So they aren't just selling coffee, they are taking an interest-free loan from you and keeping the change.
I bet you'll never look at a gift card the same way again. If you are enjoying this expose and want to uncover more secrets of the business world, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are building a community of people who want to understand how the world really works, not just how marketing wants us to see it. Done? Awesome. Now let's talk about the time Starbucks got humiliated by an entire continent. In 2000, Starbucks decided to conquer Australia. They thought it would be easy. They opened 80 stores rapidly, marching in like emperors. But they made a fatal mistake: arrogance. They assumed Australia had no coffee culture. They were wrong. Thanks to Italian immigrants after World War II, Australia already had one of the most sophisticated coffee cultures in the world. They knew what a flat white was decades before Americans. When Starbucks arrived with their sugary syrups and bitter burnt beans, the Australians laughed at them. They didn't want coffee-flavored milk, they wanted espresso. Starbucks refused to adapt their menu. They treated the locals like they didn't know better. The result? A bloodbath. In 2008, Starbucks had to close 70% of their Australian stores and fired 700 staff. It was a billion-dollar lesson. You can't sell ice to Eskimos, and you can't sell bad coffee to Australians.
While they failed in Australia, their marketing in the rest of the world is genius because it's free. Have you ever noticed that Starbucks baristas constantly misspell your name? You say Brian, and they write Brain. You say Jessica, and they write Jessica with a G. You might think, wow, these employees are incompetent. But think about it. Starbucks hires millions of people. They aren't all bad at spelling. This is a calculated psychological trick. When you get a cup with a funny misspelling, what do? You take a picture and post it on Instagram or TikTok with a caption like, "Look how dumb this is."
Congratulations. You just gave Starbucks free advertising worth thousands of dollars. They purposely mess with you to turn your coffee cup into a viral meme. It's the perfect Trojan horse strategy. They annoy you just enough to make you share their logo with all your friends.
But viral names are nothing compared to their greatest invention, the pumpkin spice latte, or PSL. This isn't just a drink, it's an economic phenomenon. Starbucks figured out how to monetize FOMO, the fear of missing out. By making this drink available only for a few months in the fall, they create artificial scarcity. It triggers a psychological impulse in your brain. I must have it now, or I have to wait a year. Since its launch in 2003, the PSL has generated billions in revenue. It literally changed how the world sees autumn. Now every company, from candles to dog food, makes pumpkin spice products. Starbucks didn't just invent a flavor, they trademarked a season. And the irony? For the first 12 years, the pumpkin spice latte didn't even contain any actual pumpkin. It was just sugar, coloring, and spices. We were literally drinking a synthetic illusion, and we loved every sip of it.
However, all this efficiency has a cost. The soul of the company's dying. Howard Schultz originally built Starbucks to be a third place, a cozy spot between work and home where you could sit, smell the roasted beans, and listen to jazz. But look at a Starbucks today. It's chaotic, it's loud. The counters are cluttered with mobile orders. The mobile order feature, launched to make things faster, actually destroyed the atmosphere. Baristas are no longer chatting with you. They are drowning in a sea of digital tickets, trying to make complicated TikTok drinks in under 40 seconds. The furniture has changed too. Notice how the chairs are harder? The tables are smaller? They don't want you to linger with a laptop anymore. They want you to grab your sugar milk and get out. They optimized the coffee shop experience so much that they accidentally turned it into a factory.
So, let's answer the question we started with. What is Starbucks hiding? They are hiding the fact that they aren't in the coffee business anymore. They are a logistics company, a bank, and a sugar dealer rolled into one. They realize that selling caffeine is profitable, but selling sugar addiction to teenagers is infinite. Look, I still drink it. You probably still drink it. The convenience is unbeatable. But next time you spend $7 on a venti caramel crunch, just remember, you aren't paying for the beans. You are paying for the brand, the bank, and the burnt taste of American capitalism. Thanks for watching. If you want to see how Coca-Cola convinced the world to buy bottles of tap water, click the video on the screen right now. It's a wild story. See you there.